Hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial. In this one, we're going to continue talking about the classes and we will create our own methods. We will move forward from init. So let's bring up the PyCharm and see what we already did in our previous class. So we created a class called car and we defined a init method, which is kind of a constructor, and we gave make and model. So I've modified a little bit from the previous one. I just removed the default values and all that, and then we assign the attributes, the values that we give to those instances, and then we created two instances, C1 for BMW and C2 for Mercedes-Benz, right? So let's see, this is the default init method. So let's see how we can create our own methods, and we can create it is exactly as the way we create the init method. So we're gonna say def, and let's create a method for the car class which gives us the information about the class. So here right now we're just creating an instance, and if I want to get the make and model, I'm just printing different c1.make and c2.model and all those sort of things. So I can make it more better and efficient. So what I can do is I can create a method called info, and again it's going to take self, and since I'm just printing out some stuff, I don't need a lot of stuff here. So what I can do here is something like that, print, and let's print, so make it more readable, make of the car, and let's say self dot make, and then we can exactly say the same thing. So just copy this and put up here the model, so model of the car and self dot model, right? So what I can do is I can create a utility method which prints us the make of the car and the model of the car, and instead of doing these two things, I can just get rid of both these statements. And if I want to print the detail of my car, what I can say is I already have the instance created, C1 and the car, and I pass in two values, BMW is the make and 550i is the model. Same thing I did with Benz and E350. So if I do C1 and then dot, you can see these variables are available, and then we have info. This is the method that we created, right? And then we have the init. So I'm just going to call this info method, and it doesn't accept any arguments, so I'm not going to pass in any arguments, just like that. And let's run the code. So what I see here, make of the car is BMW, model of the car is 550i, right? So that's pretty easy, pretty handy, right? We can do things like that, which makes it very easy. So now let's do it for C2. So c2.info, and it's gonna return me the make of car Benz and E350, right? So that's really efficient. So that's similarly we can create a lot of methods inside a class with much more calculations. So right now I'm just printing out stuff, but we can do a lot more calculations. So there's no limit to it, and it could be multiple methods. So that's pretty helpful. Classes are really helpful, and I know it's going to take some time for you guys to digest it, so that's why the code is always there. Always feel free to download it. So let's take a look at one more quick concept that I want to talk about. So till now we were talking about the attributes of the properties of the class. So and they change with different instances. So if I say, let's say if I say c1 dot make, it's just gonna print something else, right? Print c1 dot make, it's gonna print something else. And if I say print c2 dot make, it's gonna print something else, because we are setting the different values for both of them, right? So let's comment these two, and so we have less printing up here on the console. So BMW and Benz, right? So we get two different things. So now what if I have some common things, some member variables? So what I'm going to talk about is member variables which are available to all the members of a class. So basically these are instance variables, right? These are changing with the instance of the class. If I have one instance, they change. Second instance, they change. What if I want the same value for every instance? Something like that. Maybe let's say if I want to say wheels, right? I always know my cars are going to have four wheels, and I don't want to change them. So what I can do is I can define them, and the best, you can define them anywhere, but the best place to define them is on before the init method. So we know that these are the class object attributes, and they are just, they're global, available to everything, right? So they are the member variables, you can say. So how I can use these ones is, so let's say I can just do that. So pretty much, you know what, I can just do directly that car, the name of my class, dot wheel. If I just do that, I can just simply use that. So let's put this in a print statement and let's run it. So if I run it, it says 4, right? And you guys can see that I'm not using any instance up here. It's just car, which is the name of my class. That's pretty easy, right? And let's do this just to show you guys it is possible with the instance variable as well. I can do this as well, c1 dot wheels. I can do this as well, and then I can do c2 dot wheels. And oops, let's print it out instead of just putting it outside. c2 dot wheels. I can do this as well. So basically I can call this member variable with the instance that I created also. It's gonna yield me the same output right now, but it doesn't mean that they're same because it's the instance variable and we don't want to use them with the, sorry, it's the member variable, excuse me guys, it's the member variable. We don't want to use them with the instances, and if we really want to use them with the instances, it's always best to create the attributes which are particular to the instances. So that's one of the best coding practice hint that I'm giving, so please follow this. Otherwise you can get just confused in your own code after a few months. So just follow this practice. So what we can do is we can actually, so let's see the magic right now. So I'm gonna print it at the bottom. Let's do that at the bottom, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put c1 dot wheels and I'm gonna put here 3, right? So what I'm doing is, if you guys notice, I'm putting 3 for c1 dot wheels, which is gonna be the wheels for this instance, and then I'm printing c1 dot wheels right up here on line number 22. I'm printing c1 dot wheels, and then I'm printing the c2 dot wheels and my car dot wheels. So what I want to show you here is when I change the value of wheels with this, it doesn't change the actual member variable. It's gonna change the value for this particular instance, which is c1, but my car dot wheels is still gonna have the value of 4. So let's run this code and see it in real time example. So when I did this, you can see here the first one is 3 because I did that. c1 dot wheels is 3 and then I printed c1 dot wheels, right? And then I'm printing c2 dot wheels, which is 4, and then at the last I'm printing car dot wheels, which is again 4. So when I change the value of c1 dot wheels, it is only changing for this particular instance. I am really not affecting the actual member variable, which is car dot wheels, right? So just keep that thing in mind, guys, that you never wanna access the member variables with the instance. So this is wrong, I'm gonna delete it, and this is, again, this is as well wrong, so I'm not gonna use that as well. So whenever you want the member variables, just use the class name dot wheels, class name dot the member variable, right? So this is the basic rule of thumb. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think that's good enough. You guys can just go ahead, practice a little bit on methods, download this code, create some more methods like more info about the car or setting the gears or setting the color of the car. So many things you can do, right? So just do those kind of things, and that's gonna be great for your practice. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. So that's about it. Stay tuned for the next lectures, guys, and thanks for attending this one. Thanks, guys.